Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Aegis Moto Adventures. Hey, we are getting ready to head out on the road and up to Canada for another great adventure. Join us as we hit the road here. This trip back to Canada is as much about unfulfilled dreams as it is about adventure. Last year, Roy missed the Canadian trip due to a bout with COVID, and Cheri didn't have enough vacation time. Mike was bummed out about missing a chance at Labrador, and Gord didn't own an adventure bike. With all these issues sorted out, we're off with much anticipation. Cheri and Mike will be taking one of the most direct routes north. After crossing to the east coast of Florida, they head north on I-95 across coastal Georgia, I-26 to Columbia, South Carolina, and north on I-77 through Charlotte, North Carolina, until intersecting with I-81. They'll stay on I-81 until they reach Canada, but not before meeting up with Roy in Watertown, New York. This route of travel takes one through the Great Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains. Despite the highway miles, it's hard to argue the scenery. I don't know if you can tell from this video, but that trailer is loaded with longhorns, a little bit out of place here on the eastern United States. The last outpost in the U.S. is Wellesley Island. If you look to the upper left, you will see a freighter making its way through the St. Lawrence River bound for Lake Ontario. Crossing into Canada has always been easy, and this crossing was no different. I can tell you the Thousand Island area is beautiful, with lots of tourist hotspots. There aren't too many A&Ws in the U.S. anymore, but Canada makes up for that. Thank goodness, because I love this place. They have the best onion rings, and a frosty mug of root beer brings back childhood memories of the old-style drive-in. We made it to Gord's, unloaded, and parked the bikes. We're ready to start the adventure. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Aegis Moto Adventures. Hey, we're off on another great adventure here in Canada, and we're starting out from my friend Gord's house. We'll be heading up back to Newfoundland again, but this time we're going to be taking the Labrador-Quebec Highway to get there. So join us on this trip as the whole gang here gets ready to hit the road on our motorcycles.
Here we go.
A quick top off of fuel in Cheri and Mike's bikes gets us on the road, and we'll be heading along the Ottawa River all the way to Quebec City. Gord has us going the same route along the river as we took last year, but that all changes once we get to Montreal. When we go past Montreal, we'll be in new territory, so feel free to skip ahead if you feel the need to. Getting around Montreal wasn't too bad, and we'll get on basically what would be the equivalent of an interstate 40 and head east toward Quebec City. Not all days are created equal. We tried to ride about 250 to 300 miles a day and not much more than that. And that equates to about 400 to 500 kilometers a day. This keeps us a little bit fresher without having to ride so hard all the time. Planning shorter days for our day's ride also makes it that we can see a few more things off the beaten path and maybe pick up some gravel roads along the way. Cheri's Honda CRF 300 Rally has a smaller fuel tank than the KTM's. This means we stop more frequently to fuel up. However, we are all carrying extra fuel for when we reach Labrador. We take a brief stop here for Gord to get his bearings straightened out and plug new coordinates into his GPS. We're now in Quebec and we're heading towards the Old City. If you have never been to the Old Quebec City, the La Citadelle de Quebec, and the Plains of Abraham, you should definitely visit. The Musée Royal, or Royal Museum, is a unique look back in time of early Quebec. The museum is at the fort, which is still an active military base. I know this area is touristy, but it's way cool and worth the effort to visit. The stone architecture is not unique to Old Quebec City, but it does give the impression of the importance of its location on the St. Lawrence River. Old Quebec City is the only lasting fortified walled city north of Mexico. To soak in the most that Old Quebec City has, you really need to park and get out and walk around and visit some of the places here in town. It's beautiful, it's fun, and it'll take you all day just to walk down the road and come back. I don't think Cheri knew what was going on here as she rode by this lady with her scarf in the road, but I saw it soon enough and I was able to stop and let her retrieve it. We ride down Côte de la Montagne, which connects the upper town to the lower town. This street was a little bit of a challenge for Cheri on her new bike. Check out the end of the video for her comments on this challenge. Let's just say it's a lot steeper than it looks. The lower town lies right along the St. Lawrence River. Despite its charm, its location at eye level to the river gives one an understanding of Quebec City's strategic importance. Looking up, you get a view of the beautiful Fairmont La Chateau Frontenac. As we continue to ride along the river, we can see the imposing cliffs that help fortify the upper town. Above us is the upper town, the fort, and the Plains of Abraham. The Aegis team is off to a good start on day one. Thanks for watching and stay with us for the following videos as we present the Eastern Canadian provinces. Here's Gord with his map presentation.
Hello everybody, welcome to the completion of day one, our adventure into Labrador and Newfoundland via the Trans-Labrador Highway. We didn't get that far today, but we started out at the origin at my place in Ontario, just on the edge here where the little dot is. We transited across the bridge to the Quebec border and sort of hugged the coastline of the Ottawa River until we got to the western point of the island of Montreal. Instead of tackling the traffic of Montreal, we found a ring road, or a highway that would bypass the greater part of Montreal and allow us to go across fairly quickly and end up on the east end, at which point we rejoined the main highway to take us up through on the northern coastline of the St. Lawrence River through Trois-Rivières, which is a fairly major town halfway between Quebec City, which was our destination today, and Montreal, which you can see here. So you can see about halfway, there's Trois-Rivières. We had an uneventful trip. It was a beautiful day, great weather, and worked out real well. We ended up in Quebec City with no harm, no foul. It was a great day. So we look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Well, it's the end of day one and we've got the bikes covered up. And we went through the old city of Quebec, which is pretty cool. I hope you like that video. I don't know if the ups and downs through the city will show up on the camera, but they were really steep on the downhill portion, and it was a little challenging with Cheri with the new bike, but we got through it okay and she got through it okay, so we've had a good day. We'll see you tomorrow as we head towards Baie-Comeau.
Well, end of our first day. For me, it was quite exciting. First time to ride the Honda on any trip, and I kind of tippy-toe to touch the ground. So the boys put me through the paces with steep uphills and steep downhills and lots of corners, but I made it without dropping the bike, so woohoo! Anyway, fun, great day, beautiful scenery, and looking forward to tomorrow.